Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we got my father's 2013 GMC Sierra. Around here we got to take the vehicles in to get them inspected once every 2 years. It used to be once a year, but a few years back they changed it to once every 2 years. But anyway, he took it in and it failed. They told him he needs new brakes on the front and a new ball joint on the driver's side. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'll probably split it up into 2 videos just because it'd be too long for one. So this video will probably be about the ball joint. Okay guys, as far as I know, in order to check the lower ball joint, you got to have the weight on the control arm. So I just jacked it up on the control arm. Now I can't move it by hand, but if I put a pry bar underneath it, I can feel it clicking, and I'll just show you here. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if that's showing up on video or not, but I can feel it when I lift. I can feel it clicking. That means the ball joints, it's not in terrible shape, but it is bad. Okay, so we'll zip these off. So we'll start by removing the brake calipers. So the calipers held on to the caliper bracket with this one here. This is a 19. And then the caliper bracket itself is held on by 2 18s. So we'll separate the caliper from the bracket first. They're usually not in there that hard. I loosened this ahead of time. And the second one is down here. Like I say, they're usually not in there that tight. Pull the caliper off. Now, I don't know why they said he needs new brakes. These brakes are good shape, as far as I can tell, but we already bought them, so I'm going to replace them. The other side, maybe the other side's bad. I don't know. We'll check. Okay, so next we'll remove the caliper bracket. It's held in by 2 18s. Well, I don't know, them brakes be in good shape to me. I hope he didn't get mixed up. And it's the back brakes that are actually bad. Because they look alright to me and the rotors aren't wore. Good time to check the wheel bearing. It's nice and smooth. So you ain't got no issues there. Now we want to remove this, I think it's a T30. Okay guys, so I just spent about probably a half hour trying to get this little screw out. T30. It was rusted in there, and twisted off 2 Torx bits. And then I remembered I bought an air chisel yesterday. Never used one before. I just got a small air compressor, so I wasn't sure if it would work or not. Anyway, I just put that on the bolt, hit her. Probably only about 10 seconds, and it turned right out. Okay, so now we can remove the rotor. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to remove this ABS sensor or speed sensor. I'm not sure what to call it. Okay, so before we pull it off, I want to make sure I can get these out. If I can just unclip them. But it also holds the brake line, so I like to get it off. I used a wire brush to clean it up some because I couldn't even get the socket on, but now once I cleaned it off, I can get it on. Pull that all right off. Okay, so now we'll start with the upper ball joint. We'll loosen it up. It's an 18. This is where a ratcheting wrench would definitely come in handy. Okay, so I got the upper ball joint loosened up. I'm not going to take the bolt all the way off just yet. I want to see if I can get it to pop out of the knuckle. With any luck, a few hits will loosen it up, but probably not. There she goes. Okay, so we got that one free. Okay, before I go too far, I should try to get this dust cap off. Okay, so I had to get something with a little sharper edge on it to get in behind this dust cap. I should be able to get her now. So now we need our big 36mm to get that off. Okay, so to get this nut here off, you need a 36mm, and this is where an impact really comes in handy. But if you don't have one, you'll have to remove the center off the wheel. And I don't know if you can remove that dust cap or not with the wheel on. Probably should be able to. And while it's on the ground, you'll have to take it off, otherwise it'll just turn on you. We got an impact. And there's a little washer in there. So once you get that off, you want to, sometimes this here will get seized in there, but this one ain't. This must have been off not too long ago because it's nice and free, so that's good. Okay, so this ball joint uses a 24mm. I definitely need more tools. I don't have a 24mm wrench, and I don't have a deep socket, but I'm still able to get it started here. Okay, so we got the nut off the bottom ball joint. Now we got to do the tie rod. Give this a few taps. Okay, I can tap on this without hurting the threads. The threads are way up here. Should be able to get it tapped out that way. There. I see one thing I got to do. I need to disconnect this ABS line because there's a good chance when I tried to get this up out, I could stretch that too much. So I'm gonna release that from there. So one thing I hate about these things, you're never quite sure how they're connected on there. There. Now, pop it out of this. There, that way it you don't have to worry about breaking it. We'll finish removing this here bolt for the upper control arm. Okay guys, so what I had to do was I grabbed on the very bottom of it with a pair of vice grips. So now I'm just gonna hold it down with the pry bar so it don't come flying up. There, I got the nut off and now it'll come right out. I'm just gonna screw that nut on just a little bit so it don't fall down on my foot. And we'll just hammer it here. Not letting go yet. There, she let go. So I can take this bottom bolt off. Next thing we want to do is we got to work this dry shaft out. There she goes. There. Now we get the knuckle off. Yeah, I can feel you hear that clicking? She's definitely bad. You shouldn't be able to, it shouldn't be making that noise, that clicking noise. Okay, so now what we got to do is, this isn't perfectly round. They flatten this off at the factory. Now, I might be able to press it right out even with that, but I got that new air hammer now, so I'm going to use that to push these off. Okay guys, if you got an air compressor, pick yourself up one of these air hammers. I got that all rounded all the way around in about 30 seconds, whereas if I was hitting that with the hammer and chisel, it probably would have took me a half hour or more. But anyway, she's ready to press out. So another thing you got to have is one of these ball joint press kits. I've seen people pound them out, but this here is just way easier. So here's what we got. This here goes around. You got to get the right one that the ball joint can actually press through, And this part here can press through here. And that'll allow it to drop into this. When you're first starting it, it comes real hard, but once it starts going down, it gets easier. Hey guys, so I got the ball joint out. I didn't do it the proper way. I'll show you the problem. Okay, so here's the old ball joint, and here's the cup. Cup's too small. So when I was trying to press it, all it was doing was pressing on itself. So what I did, I tried using the bigger cup, but it's too big, and you can see where I damaged it trying to get it. So I got to get some more of these. But so what I end up doing is I put a jack underneath the control arm with a piece of wood, and I just used a big hammer. This isn't the way you want to do it, but in a pinch, I guess it'll work. And anyway, this kit should have no problem putting the new ball joint back in. So anyway, I'll get it all set up and I'll show you. Okay, so here's our new ball joint. It's Moog, and this cup here will go here, and it'll be pressing. It's right size. It'll be pressing on this part. Then on the very top part, you put a little cap, and it'll slide on there. What it does is it rests on the top of that control arm, and it'll allow that. It gives the tool something to press on, for one, and it'll still allow the top to come in. So before I start, I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on here just to keep the corrosion from making it stick in. I want to get it centered. Just go slow. Make sure it goes in even. It's not going hard. There's resistance, so it'll stay in there. Plus there's a ring that goes with it. I'll get the camera down in here. You can see it's still got a ways to go yet. She must be almost there. Yeah. Okay, that should be it. And I'll just bring the camera down again. You can see that gap is gone. Okay, so here's my snap ring. Okay, so we'll put our little grease fitting in. And you'll have to grease it because they don't come greased. One thing I like to do is just put a little tiny bit of grease on these so they won't stick maybe next time. So I'll grab our new nut that come with the ball joint. Okay, so get the nut started here. Now we can work that dry shaft in. Okay, so we're gonna start the nut on the upper ball joint here. Nut started. So now I'm just gonna snug up all the bolts for the bottom ball joint, tie rod, and the upper ball joint, and then we'll torque them. I looked up torque specs for the tie rod end and the upper ball joint and the lower ball joint, and I get 15 dozen numbers. So I just chose what I thought it should be. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to give you the wrong torque specs. You have to look it up and decide for yourself. And this one here, the upper, I can't get a torque wrench on it anyway, so I tightened it up to around the same as what it was when I took it off. Now this nut here has to be torqued 177 foot-pounds, so we're going to do that now. There. So that's on. I got the bottom ball joint torqued, the tie rod torqued, and this one here, like I said, I had to tighten that by hand. So next I might as well fasten this back down. These are just little 10 millimeters. I'll just put a little dab of grease on there just to maybe help it come out next time. And then we'll put this one back here, a little dab of grease on it. Okay. We want to reconnect our ABS or speed sensor, whatever it is. Okay, now we just reinstall the brakes. She should be good. Oh, and I got to put the cotter pin in the bottom here, the ball joint. Okay guys, so that's it. I got everything on. I'm going to be replacing the brakes, so I'm just going to put that in a separate video because videos get too long. Nobody wants to watch them. But the caliper bracket bolts right here, they get torqued to 74 foot-pounds, and then the two that go into the slider pins, the caliper, those ones there, I think it said are 30 foot-pounds. But like I mentioned before, it's better if you look up torque specs yourself and you can decide for yourself because you get so many. Anyway, that's it. Everything's tightened. That's tightened. This here was torqued. The bottom ball joint was torqued. I greased the bottom ball joint plus this tie rod, which is spitting most of it back out. And I hooked this back up, your ABS line. Anyway guys, hope this video helps somebody out, and we'll catch you in the next one.